Have you ever wondered what really makes an era a golden age? Is it all about powerful armies and massive wealth? Or is it something deeper? Something about the character of the people living in it? Well, today we're going to dive into that very question, using a legendary historical period as our guide.
So, our guide for this journey is this fascinating book, The Princess of Andalusia. Now, this isn't just a single story, it's a collection of tales that try to capture the spirit of a truly remarkable time and place, Al-Andalus in Spain. It was an era famous for its incredible leaps in science, culture, and philosophy. We're going to unpack 3 key stories from this collection to see what lessons they might hold.
All right, let's start our journey with these tales of Andalusia. They really give us a unique peek into what made this era tick.
Right from the get-go, the book throws this really big question at us. What is the true foundation of a legacy that lasts for centuries? Is it your military might, the gold in your treasury, or is it the quality of your character? Let's see how these stories answer that.
Our first story is a big one. It's about the very founding of Al-Andalus, and it introduces our first pillar, Valor. This is the story of General Tariq ibn Ziyad and a single decision he made that became legendary. So, picture this. It's 711 AD. General Tariq gets his army across the water to the Iberian Peninsula. He looks at the enemy, and he knows they are hopelessly outnumbered. At that moment, he gives a command that is just mind-blowing. He tells his men to burn their own ships. He intentionally destroyed their only way home, leaving them with just 2 options: win or die trying.
With no escape route, he gathers his soldiers and gives this incredible speech. He tells them, "The sea is behind you and the enemy before you. Your only salvation is truthfulness and patience." Can you imagine? He basically turned their moment of greatest weakness and fear into their source of unstoppable resolve.
And here, you can actually see that moment captured in the pages of our source text. That script you're looking at, it's more than just a speech, it's a testament to absolute conviction. Burning the ships wasn't just a wild military tactic, it became the symbol of courage in the face of impossible odds.
Okay, that's an absolutely epic story of collective bravery. But does strength only show up on the battlefield? What about the quieter, more personal battles we all fight? Let's move on to our next story, which explores just that.
And this brings us to our second pillar, integrity. To understand this one, we're going to look at the devastating personal trial of a merchant named Idrees. I mean, this guy's story is just one gut punch after another. He's a trusted merchant, given a huge fortune of jewels and gold to look after. But then, disaster. Pirates attack his ship, and they take every last thing. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. His own son is murdered, and in some cruel, twisted turn of events, Idrees himself is framed for the crime. His whole world just crumbles.
Here in the text, you can almost feel the weight of these 2 crushing blows. On one side, you have the chaos of losing his fortune at sea. On the other, the unimaginable personal pain of being accused of killing his own son. But through all of it, the story says his faith and his integrity never broke. And in the end, he was proven innocent. His strength wasn't in a sword, it was in his character.
So we've seen valor in war, integrity in crisis. Now for our third and final pillar, humility. And this story is about power, but not in the way you might think. It's about what happens when a powerful foreign general comes to meet the Caliph, the ruler of this vast empire.
So imagine this. A Persian general, a guy who is used to the absolute spectacle of royalty, shows up to meet Caliph Umar. He's expecting a huge palace, an army of bodyguards, a ruler sitting on a golden throne wearing the finest clothes. But what he finds is just shocking. The reality was the complete opposite. He finds the leader of this powerful empire sleeping on the floor of a mosque, alone, with no guards, wearing simple patched-up clothes. The story's point is pretty clear. True power isn't about showing off. It's about justice and humility.
So, we've got these 3 very different stories: a general, a merchant, a caliph. What do we get when we put them all together? Well, you get a kind of blueprint for what this book argues is a real golden age.
It lays out these 3 pillars as the true foundation of a great society. First, you have the valor of Tariq, which shows that deep conviction can overcome anything. Second, you've got the integrity of Idrees, which tells us that your character is the only treasure that can't be stolen. And third, the humility of the Caliph, proving that the greatest leaders serve their people instead of seeking status. And this leaves us with a really powerful final thought. The Princess of Andalusia isn't just a history book, it's a book about ideals. It suggests that what makes an era golden isn't just its achievements, but the virtues it chooses to lift up and celebrate in its stories. And that idea is still so relevant. It kind of forces us to ask ourselves, right? What stories are we telling today about our heroes, our leaders, and our own values? And what kind of legacy are those stories building for our future?